I want to tell you a story. I want to tell you a story of a man who was extremely overweight. I want to tell you a story about the man who used to be a collegiate athlete. I want to tell you about a man that used to be so in shape. I want to tell you about the man that used to be and feel like he was in his prime. This young individual was passionate, he was driven, he was hungry, he was aggressive for the things that he wanted in life. Life ended up taking a change. Things started growing in athletics. The drive was really there. He was hungry for his next mission. Things started going really well until things changed. In the blink of an eye, he tore his ACL, his LCL, PCL, and meniscus. He tore his meniscus in his other knee. He tore his rotator cuff and his labrum. So many things shifted so fast, but he was so hungry to make it to the next level that there was nothing else that's going to stop him. He put in the time, he put in the blood, he put in the sweat, he put in the tears. He grew so much. Got to a point where things were going a little bit different. Things were going pretty well until things changed one more time. Life changed, life made a drastic turn. He ended up packing on a lot of weight that was not necessarily needed. He started packing on stress. He started packing on anxiety. He started packing on the loss of structure. And when that happened, he ended up being over 250 pounds. Things started to grow. He started to notice how bad life was and was sick of it. He was sick of how he was living. He wanted to make a change. Ended up moved across the country and lost 53 pounds in 3 months. That story is me. Is me. I'm AJ, and I want to show you how I rebuilt my discipline, structure, and direction after college sports ended, and how you can too, without needing motivation, therapy, or another morning routine that does not stick. I want to highlight to you before we get started as well. This is going to be a long ride, so buckle up. And if you play football, you know I played defensive end, I played outside linebacker. We know how it is. If you play defense, you know how it is. But all my other athletes, you should know what this is. So lock in your seatbelts and get ready for this experience. So to give you a little backstory on myself, I was the guy who lived by structure. Early lives, team meetings, films, like all my film sessions, practice, of course. And I had a system, and I thrived in it. Some more back up, I went to the Air Force Academy my first couple of years. When I went to the academy, of course, I was in the military, but I was in football. March until lunch. I had to run around early in the mornings. I was getting put on my face early in the mornings, aka push-up position if you don't know. I'm constantly having to take GRs, grade reviews, tests at 6 o'clock in the morning before I even get breakfast in my system. All of these things allowed for me to have structure. There was always somebody telling me what to do, all the way since the age of 4. But as soon as sports ended, so did my routines. And I guarantee you went through this same process. My structure disappeared and the accountability just disappeared. The version of me I worked so hard to build started slipping away from me. And it's not because I didn't care about who I was, because I care extremely about who I am as a person, but because I didn't know how to lead myself without the game. And I want to show you how you can regain your leadership, regain who you are, and build into the life that you want to get to. Looking back on just this individual, this guy used to think so highly of himself, though. Girls touch his arm, he feel good. But at that moment, at that point in time of that picture, this guy was working at a bar. He was actually working at a bar. He had walked onto the Texas Tech football team. He's playing, but he's not on scholarship, so he needs to make some money, right? He ends up working at a job, works at the bar, still working at this bar throughout this time to get some money. But what do you think is going to happen working at the bar? I'm saying 2 a.m., 3 a.m., 4 a.m., hanging out with people who had no goals, who didn't have any sign or direction or growth that they wanted to do in life. That guy ended up drowning himself. But he wanted to still fit in. He wanted to be cool. He wanted everybody to like him. So he loved wine. So let's invite everyone to the wineries, man. Let's get everybody drunk. Let's get everybody teed up just so they can be like me. I started blaming all of these other things, blaming it on the people, blaming it on the surroundings, blaming it on the bar. But the only person that started to make the issues appear was myself. I was the one in control. I am the one in control. I am the one who should be taking responsibility of every single thing. But at this point in time, he was not. And so this picture down here is that guy who was proud. But he's not the guy that looks like this specimen on the right. And I want to go through the story of how we got to this position as fast as I did. And look, so what changed? I stopped waiting for motivation. I stopped chasing more information, aka scrolling online. Then I realized what I actually lost. Once again, it wasn't motivation, it was leadership. It was self leadership. You can be a leader out there in the world. You can guide so many people out there. You can be the captain of the football team. You can be the captain, so to speak, of your squadron, whatever it may be. You can lead and guide other people. But why can't you guide yourself? Why can't you lead yourself? I needed a system that replaced the structure that I had in sports, aka my daily non-negotiables, the things that I have to do no matter what. Physical discipline, making sure I take care of my health. Something that I also lost was my clear creative direction. I couldn't make decisions on my own. I couldn't design. I couldn't dream. I couldn't imagine because my life was so like this. This is your life. This is the playbook you're going to study. These are the things you're going to do. This is the order you're going to do it. This is the way you're going to march. This is the way you're going to step. This is the way you're going to have your hands. This is the way your facial hair is going to be. But also, I didn't have the accountability. I had anyone beside me. I'm running solo. I'm by myself now. I'm in the real world. So I lost all of that. But once I rebuilt my internal, once I rebuilt what's going on in here, the discipline, the focus, and the confidence came back to me. I want to highlight to you who this is exactly for. This is for the young man. This is for the young individual who had structure. These are the way the days were going to be. These are the way that things were going to be guided. But now you wake up negotiating. Am I going to wake up early and get up? Am I going to wake up early and hit that snooze button? This one's kind of feeling nice. The bed's feeling warm. You got that. But think of it on the flip side. On the night before going to bed, y'all, I cannot stay up. I got coaches that need to be here in the morning. I got my teammates telling me I got practice. I got workouts 5 a.m. I got things I got to do in the morning. I can't go out. I'm sorry, it's not happening. Go to sleep, right? But now you don't have that. You may have a job in the morning, but it's not as important to you. It doesn't fulfill you like your sport did. It doesn't fulfill you like being around these other individuals. So now you sit there at night scrolling endlessly on your phone. The beautiful women start popping up on your phone. The nice cars, the dream life that you wish you could be living. You see it on your phone. You see your friends doing some cool shit. You see it on your phone. You just end up getting lost. That is for you. This is for you. This experience is for you. You also had coaches, you had teammates, you had the schedules, like I just said. But now it's you, your phone, and your own willpower. And it's like you know how to train, you know how to work out, but your workouts are inconsistent. They're not scheduled like they used to be. And your standards for how you should be working out are slowly declining. You used to be at your peak, and you're still so young. Now it's just slowly dying. It's like you know you are capable for more. You know you could do more. You know there's so much more in you, but your habits are not matching the potential that you have. And you're drifting between work, between school, and you may be like where I was. You're working at the bars, being in the nightlife, and wondering where your edge went. Wondering why you're not as hungry as you were before. The discipline, the presence, the internal fire you once had feels like it's drifting away. but I really want to highlight this. If you are coming in here and you just was just scrolling online and you're like, let me listen to this. This looks kind of interesting. Let me see what this is about. Let me hear it. Because I want to just scroll and fill my mind up with dopamine and get the strategy on how to do it. I want to get it fixed like this. I want to change everything like this. If that's you, and that's really what you're here for, I want you to actually, the little white bar that's at the bottom of your phone, I want you to like swipe it up and then clear this video out. Why do I want you to do that? You're wasting your own time. If you know you're not going to put in the time, if you know you're not going to put in the effort to build up for yourself, and you keep saying you hate the way life is going, you hate the way this direction is going, you hate the job that you're at, you hate not being in shape. Yeah, you couldn't even spend an hour a day to go work out, and you know you're still not going to commit 1 hour to your day to work out or something. Please hop off this video because this is not going to be for you. If you want that something quick, some hack, some what's it called? Whatever they put the shots in their stomach, starts with an O, something like that. Ozempic. You want one of them? Go find it. You find it online. But go somewhere else for that. If you need someone to beg you, please show up, please work out, this is not the place, because I'll be damned I'm begging you. Like I said, I was in the military before, and I played football for a very long time, and you know how coaches were, you know how teammates are. Why would I beg you to show up for yourself? When you die and you're in your grave, I'm not going to be in there in the grave with you. I'm not going to be in your casket. I got things to do. You stay in your own casket. But the people who refuse to take responsibility for where you are, the people who refuse to take responsibility for the things that are happening in your life, and you will constantly not take responsibility if you know you're not going to make that change, please hop off of this. If you want to be the man that leaves a legacy, if you want to be the man that shows an example for his brothers, his sisters, for his future children, if you can't take the responsibility for yourself, I don't personally think you're worthy enough for any of those roles. Because in order for you to build up to be the life and to be in the life that you want to live, you have to be worthy enough to you. If you're constantly lying to yourself and then blaming other people for the problem, but you know you could have woke up earlier to go work out, you know you could have put yourself in better scenarios, why are you blaming other people? You need to make sure you take full responsibility. And if you're not going to do that, this is not for you. Once again, if you're blaming everything else, the circumstances, the things on the outside, and you're going to keep doing that, this is not going to be for you. If you aren't willing to operate at a higher personal standard, you don't put yourself on a higher pedestal, this is not going to be for you. You are the person that creates your reality. You are the person that's going to create the dream life that you want, and you have to put in the effort. And if you're not willing to see yourself at your best version, then what are you doing? You might as well just stay where you are. Well, I don't know why you're on this video, because every person that's going to be on here is wanting to get to the new level, knows what they're capable of, and they're surrounded by people who are on this lower vibration that you don't want to be around. And the people that just want, the quick hype, quick temporary motivation, they're quick dopamine, they hit you like this, and I know everyone just keeps using that phrase, but if that's what you know because you keep scrolling, I'm going to use it. If you want that, this is not going to be for you, because this is going to be something for your life, and you need to be able to sustain it. Look, now here's the truth. Everyone believes you already have the discipline from sports. I know you've been working out for so long, and you've had the routine, you wake up early. I know you have the discipline. Yes, I had the discipline when it came to my sport, but once the sport ended and you're telling me I have to go work for some other man, I got to work for some other person that doesn't even care about me, that doesn't care about the life that I have, that doesn't care about the dreams that I have, that doesn't care about the direction that I want to take my life in, why would I have discipline and put in my 100% effort for them? That doesn't make sense. And that's the way our mind processes. We have to learn to flip that. Here's another truth that you think a lot of people are telling you. They believe that you need to get into your routine again. But yeah, I wish I could fall into a routine again. But then when you have that routine, there's no fire behind it. There's no passion behind it. There's no clarity behind it. What's the routine going to do? That's the same thing that happened to me when I'm losing all this weight. I look good. I look shredded. I feel the best. If I don't understand what's going on in my mind, what's the routine going to do for me? And they keep telling you, you're so much ahead than everybody else your age. What is that supposed to do? And what is ahead? Because what your standards are different than what we have. It's different than the standard that we want to be at. And I want to learn how to get to that standard. I want to learn how to take my life to another echelon. You're still young, you have so much time. Nah. If the average age at this moment in time is between 70 to 80 years old, I'm 24 at this time, I got about 40 something years. That's not that long at all. Days are flying like this. I got a life to live. And you do too. So stop wasting it away. You need to rebuild the internal system that once kept you sharp. You had the structure, you had the accountability, you had the internal clarity for yourself, you had an actual framework that helps you take ownership again. Look, but don't worry. Do not worry about what everybody else is saying. Do not worry about all the things that they're trying to tell you, because I won't let you keep drifting through your days without structure. I won't let you keep negotiating with your discipline or falling into the same, I'll start tomorrow. I'll start on Monday, when the week starts, and I'll enjoy myself from the weekend. I won't let you get stuck into that trap again. You won't keep cycling through good weeks followed by bad ones, constantly frustrated that you're not consistent. You won't be left figuring it all out on your own, stuck in the I know what to do, but I'm not doing it loop. Look, inside the forge, inside this passionate environment, I will give you the structure, the system, and the accountability to make sure you finally rebuild your discipline, your direction, and confidence for the rest of your life. And if you want to become this person, once again, I'm going to show you exactly how. And these are some of the 4 ways. I'm going to show you how. How to build a strong physique without obsessing over tracking and applying all the macros. It's not that deep. You think way back in the day, the humans are still humans. You think way back in the day when they didn't have technology, they're writing down their calorie count? You don't even know what the calories are. How do you weigh it? Does it make sense? How to stop fearing pressure. When things actually start to get hard, aka like a game, when game day shows around, you had those butterflies, but you was so aggressive in the things that you were doing. Why do you have so much fear in the real world now? So I want to show you how to stop fearing pressure and challenges and use that discomfort to fuel your discipline, just like we did back on game days. And I want to show you how I lost weight, how I built muscle, and how I keep eating my favorite foods, the things I like to cook. You may not cook like me, but I'm going to show you. I'll show you some ways that you can rebuild that again. Because I know we love our food. We love our food. We eat a lot and we need it. We need the food. We just got to learn how to control it. We got to learn to master the structure, not the restriction from everything. And also to how to master the mental blueprint and use the power of your mind to lead, connect, and win in every environment. In case, once again, you don't know me, there's a little brief backstory. I played at the Air Force Academy for a few years, but I've always been involved in sports. I played sports since I was 4 years old. But I also struggled with my physical and mental health during all of these times. As you can see, I started out very, very skinny here. And as you can see, weight, started to pack on a little bit. Why did weight start to pack on? Because I was having nights out like this. Let me see if I can draw it for y'all. I was having nights like these. We having 15-something tacos after a night out and it's 2 a.m. and you try to go to sleep off of a full stomach and alcohol. I'm tripping up here. I'm going haywire. I can't process. I got so many things going on. So I did struggle with my physical and mental health during these times, especially with the environment that I was in. I just recently graduated with my master's. I completed a master's in communication studies, just graduated in May. So pat on the back for this, or May in 2025. So whenever you see this video, May 2025, but I know it doesn't matter. And moved to a different state. I moved to across the country. I've been in several different states. I lived in Texas, lived in California, I lived in Colorado, I lived in Boston, aka where I am now, and I lived in Florida for a few months. And that's really where the change and stuff happened. But also then found my way to a healthy lifestyle. And then I have written a few books. I have written a few stories about my life. So there are a few things that I've been down and a lot of roads that I have ventured down. But I had to take these paths. I had to take all these different directions to learn and know what I know now. And so after years of struggling with structure, losing my athletic identity, battling my own discipline, and rebuilding both my body and mind from the ground up, I built a system that actually works. And it proven to work. You can see it. The Forge is my battle-tested framework for men like you, built through my own mistakes, my own setbacks, and the things, I won at, If you want to have a proven and good team, you better have a good record. You better have some things that you've done. And now, for the first time, I'm breaking it all down for you. I kept it all to myself because I wanted to make sure, is this going to sustain? Am I doing it? Did I do it right? Or are we just doing a fluke right now? But I want to show you step by step how I did this completely for free. As long as you're able to stick it out and watch through the whole thing. I know it is getting long, but stick with me. Just stick with me and I'll run you through the details. This picture actually over here was when I moved to Miami for a little while, and this is when the changes start to happen. This is when the direction of my life started to shift into these two individuals. And I started to make a drastic change. And so I'll show you step by step how I rebuilt my discipline, structure, and physique without obsessive meal tracking, extreme restrictions, or generic advice that everybody gives. But inside the Forge, you'll rebuild your identity. You'll take back control of your body and your mind and finally install the discipline system you need so you stay locked in, no matter what life throws at you. So I have 4 modules. I have 4 things that I go over. In the Forge, we go through reset, we go through the rebuild, we go through activating your life, and we go through locking in. Your reset of understanding your mind, understanding your processes, and rebuilding, understanding and deconstructing where things went wrong, and implementing them, actually putting them into action, and locking them down. Locking them down. So going into module 1, I want to show you all of this. I want to show you how I cut through all the noise with everything and build a system that actually fits the real world, not the fantasy, the dream world that we was living in for football. And I want you to actually finally get the results without any burnout, any confusion, or endless overthinking. This isn't just about dropping weight or building muscle. This is about retraining your mind. Once again, like I said, it is about retraining up here more than your physique and your body. It's about locking in your discipline and building a life where consistency becomes who you are, not something you chase. So module 1, the reset, stripping the noise and building the standard. So this is how I built my structure originally. I created non-negotiable daily anchors, things that actually kept me stuck to a strategy. It's the chess game, of figuring out every single step that I have to take to make sure that I get to the end game. I got to take over and conquer. So these are the things that I need to do. I need to make sure I'm moving around. I need to make sure I'm active. I need to make sure I'm reflecting on my life and actually pre-planning like the night before, aka like planning for your next day of practice, aka for the game day that's coming up. You got to prepare for the day before. And so I committed to myself. When I lost 53 pounds in 3 months, I ended up actually doing 45 minutes of the Stairmaster every single night. There was nothing anybody was going to tell me. There was no bodybuilding routine or something that somebody was going to tell me. I just had to work my ass off. And this is the only way I really knew how to do it, that I thought seemed right. I didn't have the same training style like football did. So I had to make something work. I installed simple physical baselines for myself. These are the certain criteria I have to hit throughout the week. And these are the efforts that I have to put in. I placed myself in high-level environments where people were looking better than me, speaking better than me, doing things better than me, and growing in their business more than I was. This was the only way that I could challenge myself, that I could put myself in different areas. This was my game day. A lot of games we did lose. We did lose, but we learned, we grew from them. And it started from actually journaling every single night. Just today I loved how I was feeling and I was loving the beautiful sun outside. No, We was actually planning out our day. Look, tomorrow we have to get this video done. We have these YouTube videos to do. We have a 2-hour workout to crush, whatever it may be. We're planning it out. This is a strategy. This is actual like routine. This is something we're actually going to build. This is not just fantasy land. We got things to do. So I started taking my beliefs and mental to the next level, learning the actual mental alchemy of the world, reading things like the Kabbalion, going into understanding your actual mental and spiritual being. I started listening to a bunch of podcasts, reading a bunch of books that actually challenge my headspace, rather than hanging around a bunch of dorks and people that don't actually push me to the life that I want to live, to keep it as PG as possible. I was walking into rooms I didn't feel qualified to be in, aka these networking events like I just talked about, surrounding myself with people who were stronger than me, but also connected with hustlers, people who were actually making money, people that were actually pushing for something better for themselves, pushing for a new life. It helped me raise who I wanted to be. How are you supposed to be around a group and not grow when they're doing so much better than you? You expect to be growing with people that are completely worse than you. And I know it sounds like a crazy thing to be doing better or worse than someone, but you know if somebody is not living the life that you want to live, why the hell are you listening to them? Why the hell are you following them? And for the first time, I saw what was actually possible. The first time I was actually able to see, man, I could really do this. And once I saw that, once I imagined that, once I was able to actually physically see it in my mind, my life flipped. And so we go into module 2. We go into the rebuild, to rewiring your discipline and structure. So here's a bunch of trials and experiences, like things that I have actually went through. I went through testing multiple training styles. I actually worked for UFC for a few years. If you don't believe me, you can look up my LinkedIn. I'll put this in the description. You can find all the places that I worked at, the things that I've done. I've tried different training styles. I've been to trainers. I've tried all the different programs. I've been with the Lost Breed. I've tried some things from them. I looked at Jeff Nipper, all of them. But they don't work for me. They're not the same athlete style that I want, let alone the lifestyle that I want to live. I've tried the strict diets, following the exact meal plans and stuff all the time. Flexible eating, fasting. I've done them all. I did a 7-day fast. I've done a 3-day fast, only water fast. I've been through all of them. I wanted to go through all of this suffer so that I could teach you what things help, what things don't help. What things may help for you may not help for me, and what things help for me may not help for you. But I can give you a general guidance on what will help. Because ultimately, they're all still around the same fundamentals. I've ran my 4 a.m. routines, 4:30 in the morning, 5 o'clock in the morning. I've had my long nights staying up 1, 2 in the morning working. We got the coffee. We got the things we got to do. But also understanding your full habits. Understanding the exact routines that you need to build to actually better yourself. I've built multiple businesses, whether it been from clothing brands, whether it been online platforms, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube. I've done all the different brands of being a part of football. But I also understand how offers work in the physical setting of actually offers in football or athletics, but actual offers in building offers for a business, understanding how to market, understanding how to build things out for other people. But I've also been coached, and I've coached. So I've had both sides. I've had both opposites, so I can see both perspectives. I've been able to coach other athletes. I've been able to coach students. I've been able to coach young men that were growing up in high school. I've been able to coach creatives, people who are making films, people who are making comic books, understanding their development in life and where they want to grow in their area of being an entrepreneur. But I've been coached by these people as well, so we can see both sides. And actually, the hardest part is being able to balance both the business, balance both being in the corporate world, balance taking care of my health, and balancing my personal life. When people say there's a work-life balance, you got to find it. Nah, we intermingle all of it. We bring all that shit together. Because once you're able to bring all that shit together, things flow a little bit easier because it is your personal life. It's all your personal life. But it's what things do you want to push for more? What things do you really want to be at the top? Because you can do all things. I just needed to build my own system through it all. Staying in shape how I wanted to. Making sure I'm up early in the morning. I'm actually moving around before I sit and lose my life on the job. And I know a lot of you paint a picture for you. You're sitting in your chair. I guarantee you sitting in your chair right now like this. I guarantee you laying in bed, phone tucked under your chin, you're looking at it like this. All those times, all that energy that you're putting into not doing anything, you could be using into something. And so when people say, I don't have time to do this, well, what time do you wake up before work? Let's say you have work at 8, you're probably getting up at 6:45. So now you got to eat, you got to get your coffee, you got to change, you got to shower, you got to do all these things, and then your mind's flustered. I got to get to work, I can't get late, and then you're stuck in traffic. Now it's like, oh, I'm getting pissed off, people honking at me, I can't turn in my lane. And that's not who I want to be. I got to process this up here. So there's a reason why I get up and go move in the morning, so I can have time to myself. I have time that I can understand my mind through it all. I have 3 to 4 strength sessions during the week. I'm finding actual times just split out during the week that I can keep things so structured and structured enough that's easy enough for me, but difficult enough where I can push harder. I can push during these times, but I have my set blocks. I know how to structure my week. And so I know I'm getting the things in that I need done. I prioritize just moving, being outside, enjoying the sun, enjoying the space outside, enjoying the nature rather than stuck in this cold, gray, windowless space. And for my food, just focusing on my portions. This plate looks fairly big. Let me see what's filling, what's enough. But then you learn, okay, I'm not putting on weight. This must not be enough yet. We've tried this out for a couple weeks. This is not enough yet. So I've learned what portions are good enough for myself and my body type. And so when I understand where my body is, I can see and measure out from where your body type is and where the body type is for somebody bigger than me. But of course, for myself, I had to try out different ones, all the different fancy scales, all the different measurements, weighing all the ounces. I had to go through that process and tracking everything. I've done the tape measures around my arms, around my waist to see and track exactly what numbers I'm at. I had to go through all of those things. So now I designed to pick 2 to 3 go-to meals that's very easy for me to cook, very easy for me to process, pack up, and just have ready. When all of those things are able to be structured out, you're able to structure out your times of your sleep, hydration, and mental health. Easy ways, something that you can see. Eggs are always a big part of it. It's something very simple. You can see all of the images of how my food is. It's not the most complicated thing in the world. It does not have to be complicated. But once you start to understand your nutrition, you can take your life to the next level. So I started keeping myself so busy before that I didn't eat before. Like I told you, I've been through so many different things. I tried starving. I tried to not eat and see how things was going to go. But I've also done the fasting where I was actually structured for myself, where I planned out my fast. I've also had times where I overate to see what things were going to be like. There were so many different ways of how I needed to learn about how food worked. I needed to see all those things. And just to elaborate once again, I went through all of these tape measurement sizes. I had to portion out and see all my exact numbers. I needed to go through that so I can understand it, so I can teach it out. Because you're never going to learn if you're never experienced it. And the only way to perfection is actually reflecting on the things that you've done. So when you're able to go through it, you're able to reflect. But if you've never done anything, how are you supposed to reflect or look back? If you want to start a business, how are you supposed to know that the business is doing well if you haven't put anything out? But you got the logo out, and that's cool. But you ain't got no money coming in. So there's things you have to understand. But also, lastly, learning how to cut out processed food. That is the hardest part. The snacks, bro. I know, I get it. I know it. It's difficult, especially for football. You eat everything, but you have to learn how to not use those to fulfill yourself. It's a way of self-control. I'm going into module 3. I'm launching the internal and external edge. So building my edge, and this is where I started turning discipline into opportunity for myself. I was able to build my own brand, once again, build the business while working my job and being in the corporate life as well. Everybody doesn't have to know about your life. You have things that you can do. It's managing your time, but also managing your stress. If you're able to manage your stress, you're able to do a lot more things. Business is all about how much stress you can endure and push through, how much you can conquer and go through. Same thing like football. Every challenge you have in front of you, if you play defense, you have an offensive person there that you have to get by. There's a mission you have to get to. So it's finding and deciding your mission and making sure you complete it. Doesn't matter what everything else is going on. And with that edge, I'm learning to launch content, learning to build my online presence, learning what people like, learning what people don't like, but also not caring if people start to give you negative or bad feedback that actually has no relevance to the things you're doing. So you have to learn to decide and understand which feedback is actually valuable and important and which feedback is just, it's not even relevant to you. Learning how to invest in personal relationships, learning how to invest in people, learning how to take yourself out of your comfort zone to go to these different networking events and new environments to challenge yourself. I'm also building and creating my own systems to lead myself financially, physically, and mentally. Once you're able to create that, you can easily change your direction in life. Whether you're an artist, whether if you are a cameraman, whether if you are just an athlete working in a sales job, if you're able to dream and imagine and think of new strategies up here, you can design your life and create it in a whole different manner. It only matters about what things you're passionate about. If you can find something that you're passionate about, we just build out the exact system and the routine to guide you in that direction. But if your physical body is not at its peak, and if your mind is not at its peak, you won't be able to think as efficiently as you think you would. And if you can't dream and you can't create, you will stay at this baseline. And if you stay at this baseline, you will not be at the financial dream that you want to get to. Once you build on your physique, once you build on your mind, once you build on your spiritual level, it develops a new sense of confidence and you can take new risks. You can step into these new spaces. Discipline became more than just workouts. It became my leverage. And so I aligned my mind and my movement. How I was able to get down to 8% body fat. And if you really want to go into details and see all my numbers, message me. I'll show you my in-body scans. I'll show you all of my numbers. Look, my mornings became non-negotiable for me. They were things that I needed to do. My workouts fit my life. I kept it very simple. I kept it efficient and I kept it consistent. It's the same thing that you can do. Keep it simple. And it's exactly how we design everything. It's designed so you can sit at work. You can sit at work for an hour. You know the work that you need to do. For the next hour, we know exactly what things we need to plan out. For the following hour, we know what workouts we need to do. Hit it, get done. Now we're out to the next task. We know what things to do. We can flow with it. Once I'm able to understand how my mind works, what things stress me out, what things make me anxious, what things make me worried. If I get a text from the boss, am I getting nervous? If I get a text from my parent, am I getting stressed out? If I get a text from a relationship, am I getting stressed out? Once you learn to build the confidence, you build your routine, you know what things you're doing, you know what things are on point. What the hell are you scared of? My body reflected my discipline. It's not just about the effort. You have to align it all together. I stopped starting over and starting back at square one. I just started stacking and stacking and stacking. That's the only way that you can build up. That's the only way that you can build the life that you desire. You need that. The last one is just to lock it in. Once you're able to find the system, once you're able to build your exact workout routine, once you're able to build the exact structure, once you're able to reprogram and throw out all of the old thoughts and mindsets that you have, it's now to solidify this new identity, solidify this new profound growth, solidify this new dream state, this new God that you have just built. You need to solidify the man who leads himself. Locking in your non-negotiables, building the structure that you need, building your confidence, installing your creative and professional edge. You were able to leave the legacy. You were able to leave the blueprints to the family members. You were able to leave the blueprints for your other friends. You were able to help all of these other people around you, what you originally wanted to do, because you helped yourself so much, because you understood yourself so much more. Once you're able to solidify these things and understanding your mind, understanding your alchemy, understanding your yin and yang, understanding how your body actually operates, you are able to be such a vessel for so many other people. But you can only do that when you start taking responsibility for who you are. You can only do that when you start understanding how you operate on a day-to-day, how your mind functions on a day-to-day. That's what you need to do to be the man who leads himself. And look, it does not take a whole lot. You don't need to spend hours in the gym. You don't need to track every meal. You don't need to sacrifice your social life. You don't need the right system. The one built for real life is what you need. The one that actually designs for this world, not just the athletic world, is what you need to build. You just need the right system for you. And when you lock in your structure, your body reflects your discipline. You walk into rooms with confidence. You stop negotiating with yourself. You attract better relationships with women, with friends, with yourself. Your family sees you growing and respects the man you're becoming. Your mom can give you a hug and know she's proud of you. And you know she's proud of you. You stop drifting and start building a life you're proud to lead. This isn't about grinding harder. It's about becoming the man who leads every area of his life, mentally, physically, and professionally. Now that you've seen exactly how the Forge works, I have something for you. If you are the former athlete tired of slipping away, if you are sick of the potential with no follow through, if you want real confidence in how you speak and how you carry yourself, if you need true accountability, not just hype over everything, if you struggle staying consistent with training and nutrition, this is for you. And if you are building a physique that reflects your discipline, it is going to build and lock in a lifelong structure for you. You're going to hit big goals and stay consistent. If you are trying to lead and work relationships in life and become the man your family respects, if you are all of these things, if this is the individual that you want to be and you will be, in just 42 days, I will rebuild your discipline, your structure, and confidence. Both of us together, bouncing ideas off of each other, challenging each other, pushing each other to the next level, we will transform your body, lock in lifelong habits, and become the man who leads every area of his life mentally, physically, and professionally. This is for you. Thank you for just listening in, and you can now see and feel this new life that you have in front of you. You can see the direction of where your life can be. You can see all the long nights that you were struggling, all the nights that you had alone. It wasn't for bad. You're learning from it. Now let's pull from all that information. Let's pull from all that trauma. Let's pull from all those tough nights that you had and use it to fuel your fire. So if this is something that you are passionate about, if you are wanting to build this legacy, if you are wanting to be built through the fire, if you are ready for the Forge, click the link down in the description. Let's have a conversation. Let's have a chat. And let's talk, and so we can build and design the life that you desire. Not some fantasy world, but I will show you the direction you need. I will show you the steps you need to take. I will show you the direction you need. Click the link down in the description, and I'll see you soon.